A plea to the American people in the Western world. Choose peace, save humanity. My fellow Americans, citizens of the Western world, and above all, our cherished veterans who have seen the face of war, we stand at a moment where the future of humanity hangs in the balance. The drumbeats of conflict with nuclear powers, Russia, China, and potentially Iran, grow louder, threatening not just our nation, but the very survival of our species. War offers nothing but devastation, a betrayal of the American dream and the shared aspirations of humankind. Today I implore you, with every fiber of my being, to rise together, to reject the insanity of war, and to embrace peace, love, and mutual progress. Veterans, your voices can light the way. Your scars tell the story of what we stand to lose. Let us unite for a future where our children know friendship, not destruction, and where humanity thrives through cooperation, not conflict. The heart of a veteran. A call to spook veterans of Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, and beyond. You are the conscience of our nation. You have walked through the fire of war, carrying the weight of lost comrades, shattered bodies, and haunted minds. Over 58,000 Americans died in Vietnam, their names etched on a wall that stands as a silent rebuke to those who glorify conflict. In Iraq and Afghanistan, over 7,000 U.S. service members perished, with millions of civilians caught in the crossfire. The ongoing war in Ukraine, over 1 million lives lost, is a grim testament to modern warfare's toll. You know the truth. War is not a game of strategy, but a crucible of suffering. I beg you, veterans, to share your stories. Speak to your communities, to your families, to the young who have never seen war's shadow. Tell them of the friends you lost, the nightmares that linger, the promises of victory that turn to ash. Your voices can pierce the fog of rhetoric, warning us of the nuclear peril we face. Russia, with 5,580 nuclear warheads, China, with at least 600 and growing, and Iran, with its advancing missile capabilities, hold the power to end civilization. One misstep could unleash a holocaust, leaving no victors, only ashes. Veterans, you are our moral compass. Lead us toward peace. The military reality. A war we cannot win our military, though the world's most advanced, is not equipped for ground wars against nuclear powers. According to 2025 global firepower rankings, Russia has 5,750 tanks and 8,505 towed artillery pieces, while China commands 6,800 tanks and 490 self-propelled artillery units. The U.S., with 4,640 tanks and 1,212 towed artillery pieces, faces numerical disadvantages in prolonged ground conflicts. Our 1.4 million active personnel are dwarfed by China's 2 million and Russia's 1.3 million, and recruitment struggles, missing targets by 15,000 in 2023, signal a deeper crisis. But the true weakness lies not in numbers, but in spirit. In ancient Rome, soldiers were landowners, fighting for a republic they owned. Today, most Americans cannot afford a home, with median prices outpacing incomes, leaving only 40% of adults able to buy, a 60% divorce rate, declining birth rates, and a loneliness epidemic. 61% of young adults report isolation, have fractured our social fabric. Mental health issues afflict 1 in 5 adults, yet healthcare remains out of reach. Why would a generation drowning in $1.7 trillion of student debt, unable to build families or futures, fight for unclear objectives across the globe? The economic nation bring our 37 trillion national debt is a chain around our future war would tighten that chain, pouring trillions into the military industrial complex, while schools crumble and hospitals turn away the sick. Dwight Eisenhower, a warrior who knew peace's value, warned in 1961, every gun that is made, every warship launched, every rocket fired signifies, in the final sense, a theft from those who hunger and are not fed. His words echo as we face a mental health crisis and health care costs that bankrupt families. The pharmaceutical and medical complexes profit from our pain, just as defense contractors like Lockheed Martin thrive on war. Tariffs, often sold as protection, hurt us most. Trade wars with China have raised consumer prices, costing households $1,200 annually. Free trade, as Thomas Jefferson envisioned in 1801, binds nations in prosperity, not conflict. War enriches the few while impoverishing the many, draining resources we need to rebuild the American dream. the broken social contract. A people without hope, the American dream once inspired sacrifice, a home, a family, a future worth defending. Today, that dream is fading. Homeownership is a distant hope for millions. Student debt burdens 45 million Americans. Loneliness and mental health struggles isolate us, leaving little to fight for. John Locke, in his second treatise of government, argued that government must protect life, liberty, and property. When property, homes, stability, hope is denied, the social contract crumbles. Plato's Republic envisioned a society where citizens share a common good. Without it, why would anyone die for a nation that has failed them? Veterans, you fought for a promise of opportunity, yet many of you struggle with inadequate care and broken systems. Your sacrifice demands we restore that promise, not through war, but through peace, rebuilding a nation where every citizen has a stake, the truth we deserve, holding leaders accountable. We cannot go to war without truth. Our leaders must answer. What are the objectives? Who benefits? Why risk nuclear annihilation? Lobbyists spending $4.1 billion in 2024 have turned democracy into legalized bribery, prioritizing corporate greed over public good. Military industrial complex, pharmaceutical giants, and medical conglomerates profit from perpetual conflict and suffering. Thomas Paine's common sense called for citizens to demand transparency. John Stuart Mill's on liberty championed open discourse to uncover truth. We must hold leaders accountable, not for titles, but for actions. Immanuel Kant's Perpetual Peace warned that citizens, given a voice, would reject war's poor game. John F. Kennedy, navigating the Cuban Missile Crisis, chose diplomacy, saying in 1961, "Let us not seek the Republican answer or the Democratic answer, but the right answer." Ronald Reagan, despite his strength, pursued arms reduction, believing, as he said in 1983, "Our first priority must be world peace." These voices remind us peace is possible. I have vision for humanity. Peace, love, and progress. War offers nothing but loss. There is no victory in nuclear fire, no gain in sacrificing lives for the profits of a few. Instead, let us choose a path of love, friendship, and mutual progress. Free trade, as Adam Smith argued in The Wealth of Nations, creates interdependence, fostering peace. Sun Tzu's Art of War taught that the greatest victory is won without fighting. Diplomacy with Russia, China, and Iran is not weakness, it is wisdom, recognizing that our shared survival outweighs fleeting triumphs. Imagine a world where our resources build homes, not bombs, where our children grow in love, not fear, where nations collaborate for progress, not destruction. Veterans lead this movement. Organize town halls, share your stories, and rally for peace. Americans, join them, write to your representatives, protest corruption, and vote for leaders who value truth and diplomacy. Western world, stand with us, for humanity's future depends on our unity. Conclusion. A future of hope, the stakes could not be higher. War with nuclear powers risks our annihilation, robbing us of the chance to rebuild the American dream. Veterans, your voices can save us, reminding us of war's true cost. Let us reject the military-industrial complex, demand truth from our leaders, and embrace free trade and diplomacy. Together we can forge a world of peace, where love and friendship bind us, where progress lifts all, and where our children inherit hope, not despair. For the sake of humanity, choose peace. Our survival depends on it.